I also want to ask about the process of creation and the subconscious mind.
Don't worry about the subconscious mind. If it's subconscious, you're not feeling emotion. If you're not feeling emotion, it's not activated enough to matter a whit.
Okay.
The subconscious mind does not matter. It's the conscious thoughts that activate your vibration. People will say to us, I have just been in the worst mood for so long, and I'm worried about my subconscious thoughts. And we say, that mood that you're feeling isn't coming in response to your subconscious thoughts. It's coming in response to your conscious thoughts. Tend to your conscious thoughts.
My question is...
Are we shouting? Yes, we're shouting. Tend to your conscious thoughts, the ones that give you emotion. In other words, that's like saying, oh man, is this stove hot? It is so very painful. I hope I'm not thinking any subconscious thoughts that would be detrimental. And we say, we wouldn't worry too much about the subconscious thoughts. There's smoke in the air. If we were standing in your physical shoes, we would do something that we can do something about. We would deal with what is active. We would deal with what is in the moment. We would respond to the guidance that you're getting right now.
Okay. You create the money, you create the relationship, you create whatever, and then you sabotage it. Then you destroy it. And
but you don't do it with subconscious thoughts. What you're calling a subconscious thought is what we call ignoring your guidance system. It's what we call feeling negative emotion and thinking it's all right. It's what we would call enduring anger and just figuring that I'm tough enough that I can endure anger. What you're saying is, I didn't want it to happen that way. And the fact that it happened that way must mean that I'm sabotaging it subconsciously because I did not want it to happen. And we say, you didn't want it to happen and you may not have known what your guidance system was telling you, but you were getting guidance every single time. It was a conscious thought that you could have shifted if you knew how important it was to feel good. And now that you know how important it is to feel good, you will never again endure a negative thought without knowing that you are enduring a negative thought and sabotaging your own well-being. No negative experience has ever come to anyone as a result of their subconscious thoughts. You're always feeling around them. But we have to agree that some of you are more alert to what your guidance is telling you than others. In other words, we know it's pretty normal to feel ornery. We know it's pretty normal to feel mad under certain conditions. And we think what's at the heart of that is this. As you hear this, we think this will be soothed within you forevermore. So we say, what do you prefer? Something that is right or something that is wrong? And you say, well, I've been taught that I prefer what's right. I would choose a good deed, a right thing, rather than a wrong thing. And we say, well, which do you prefer? Something that feels good or something that feels bad? And you say, well, of course, I prefer something that feels good. And then we ask the telling question, what do you prefer? Something that is true? Something that has been identified by the world as a fact of truth, or something that feels good? And you say, that's really, really hard. I should choose what is true. And we say, if you choose what is true, then you might choose cancer. You might choose war. You might choose dominance. You might choose people being rude. You might, in other words, it's happening around you. It is truth. There is fact and evidence about it. But as you choose it, you hold it in your vibration and you disallow the well-being that would be there otherwise. So what happens so often is that a person will be having emotion, strong emotion sometimes, strong negative emotion that is guidance saying, you have chosen a vibration that is contradictory to the source that is flowing to you, and the negative feeling that you are feeling is an indication of the misalignment of your energies. Just like that feeling of love just moves through you. That feeling of appreciation just moves through you. Esther will say, I'm just rippling all through my body. And what she is acknowledging is, in that moment, she's choosing a thought, fixated on a thought that is so in vibrational alignment with the source that is her that the rhythm is breathtaking, you see. And so we understand that if you are practicing what is true for all kinds of other criteria, and that you have focused upon this truth that is abhorrent, and this truth that is abhorrent, and this truth, this fact, this evidence, we can understand that you would have experienced quite a bit of negative emotion that just feels like life. Your parents will tell you it wasn't supposed to be fun and it's not supposed to be fair. In other words, you just got to deal with it. Keep a stiff upper lip. Buck up. Deal with it. And Abraham says, don't endure negative emotion for a moment. Negative emotion is your conscious Because you're feeling negative emotion, alignment with something that is disallowing your alignment with who you are really wanting to align with and with the well-being that is natural to you. You'll never again be in a place of not being in alignment with well-being and not know it. And you'll never again not know what to do about it. It will sort of depend on how well practiced the beating of the drum is and how many other drums you practice. And our encouragement is when you are not in the middle of really beating a negative drum, intentionally beat a more positive one. Intentionally beat the more positive one. And as you intentionally beat the more positive one, it will play a more active part in your vibration. And as it plays a more active part, law of attraction will bring you more thoughts like that. So whether you're sifting through your past, present, or even future, you will have access to more and more of those good feeling thoughts. It just gets easier and easier and easier and easier and easier.